Hello everyone and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today I have a very bright and colorful card for you guys. I have used the new Simon Says Stamp Brushed Flowers stamp set and the Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated Mini Inks that were part of the May 2022 Brushed Flowers card kit. Before we get started, I would really appreciate if you could take a minute to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I post a video. Let's take a look at the materials I used to create our card today. Here is the huge 6x8 stamp set called Brushed Flowers by Simon Says Stamp. I love the leaves and the flowers on this set. It is one of the most fun ways to have individual images and piece them together to create a beautiful background. This is more for creating a custom design where you can get creative with the placement of the images, the color combinations, and even the layout. I was really looking forward to using all of these flowers in the stamp set and making a really bold and colorful background, for which I will be using these Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated Mini Ink Cubes. These ink cubes are exclusive to the kit. Full-size stamp pads are available on the Simon Says Stamp website. I will leave a link to that in the description box below. The kit also includes the Flannel mini ink cube holder, which is perfect to hold all of these ink cubes and their lids while I'm working on all the colors simultaneously. Let's get started by creating our background. Here I took a 4x5 1/4 piece of white cardstock and placed it on my stamping tool. Before I go ahead and stamp the flowers, I wanted to heat emboss my sentiment. I chose to use a black embossing powder to heat emboss the thank you and you're the best sentiments on the card panel. Before I stamped the sentiment using VersMark Ink, I made sure that I used my anti-static powder tool all along the card panel. I didn't want my black embossing powder to stick anywhere other than the stamped sentiment. I heat fixed the embossing powder using my heat gun. Now that my sentiment is all ready, I can go ahead and arrange the flowers around it. It took me a while to figure out what kind of layout I like the best. I could have done all the flowers in different colors all at once, but I just wanted to make sure that I don't mess up with this panel. So instead of doing all the colors at once, I started with a bright pink color called Rose and stamped a bunch of flowers using this color. I stamped the images twice to get a more saturated look. If you are looking for a more subtle look, you can stamp the images just once. These mini ink cubes are too saturated that even with a one-time use, you get a very crisp result. Once I was done with the rose-colored flowers, I went ahead and used the blue and yellow shades of the saturated inks. Even though these are dye inks, they do take some time to dry out. So these would be perfect if you plan to heat emboss. For our card today, I chose to keep it just like this. Once I was done with stamping all of my flowers, I used the green shade called Lucky to stamp the leaves around my flowers. Here's a look at this beautiful floral background panel. I can now go ahead and mount it onto an A2 size pre-folded card base. I used foam tape for some extra dimension. I was torn between using a white or a pink card base. Well, I decided to go with the pink instead. You could very well make this into a single layered card. All you have to do is stamp all of these images directly onto a pre-folded card base. This design also works perfect if you plan on to mass producing this card. For that, you will have to make sure to keep the stamps fixed on your stamping tool and keep stamping on multiple card panels to batch produce them. I stamped a pink flower for the inside of our card. And here, our card is ready. I really love how this card turned out. There is so much we could create using this stamp set. This is just the first design that I created. I have many more designs for you, so stay tuned for those. I hope you had fun watching today's video. All the supplies can be found linked in the description box below. I would love for you to become a subscriber to my channel, and if you do subscribe or are already a subscriber, please make sure to hit that bell icon so that you don't miss the next time I post. Hit the like button and let me know in the comments down below if you have any ideas or suggestions. Also, if you would like to share your creations, please do tag me on my Instagram at rp_shutterbug. There's a link to that in the description box down below. Thank you again for joining me today. Until next time, stay safe.